Welcome to this explainer. Today we're jumping right into a world that literally breathes. It's this living canvas defined by potent elemental forces and deeply sentient ecosystems. We are traveling to the planet of Yaenddarr, and specifically, we're diving into its most sacred sanctuary, the Elysium Forest. So let's get right into it. We're going to explore a deeply harmonious, yet kind of fragile bond that exists right at the heart of this forest, the absolutely beautiful coexistence between the nature-bound humanoid Florians and their ethereal guardians, the Elysium Direcats. There's a sentiment that perfectly captures the luminescent, pulsating vibe of our setting. The Elysium Forest isn't just a place on a map. It's a living entity, constantly evolving and adapting. When you step into this canopy, the boundaries between the natural and the supernatural just blur. You're walking into an environment bathed in the ethereal glow of stars, filled with bioluminescent flora that provides both sustenance and these miraculous healing properties. It's a place of unparalleled beauty, but as we'll see in a moment, that beauty takes some constant, careful preservation. Part 1. The Biome, a celestial sanctuary fueled by memory. Before we actually meet the inhabitants, we really need to understand their lifeblood, which is Elixian. According to the lore, there was this day when the planet's spine essentially cracked, and these massive crevices opened up in the earth, and from those crevices spewed this glowing, iridescent liquid. It's described as viscous and radiant, shifting in 5 different colors. But Elixian is way more than just a magical water source. It holds life-giving properties and, incredibly, emotional memory. When a Florian interacts with Elixian, it doesn't scald them, right? It actually sings to them through sensory vibration. It lights up memory, instinct, and a deep sense of origin. It is literally the raw, purifying energy that powers the entire Elysium ecosystem. Part 2. The Florians. Humanoids bound to the forest rhythm. The Florians are so deeply integrated into their environment. Characters we meet in the lore, like the wise elder Umok or the perceptive young Alara, they don't just live in the woods, they actively dialogue with it. The Florians are this peaceful, nature-bound people who commune with plants just through sheer feeling. They can recognize and interpret the absolute tiniest soil vibrations. They can literally sense which vines carry sorrow and which ones carry memory. With a mere touch, they can coax light from bud lanterns, and they shape these leaf-grown tapestries, building their living treehouses seamlessly into the canopy. Their whole existence is just a perfect, harmonious blend of humanoid life and raw nature. Part 3. The Elysium Direcat. From apex predator to ethereal guardian. Now, there is a really fascinating contrast in this ecosystem. Because outside the forest, the savage Direcat is a massive, violent conqueror. It's a creature driven entirely by brutal predation and fury. But the Elysium Direcat? Completely different. Adapted to the tranquil vibe of the Elysium Forest, it's a creature of grace, wisdom, and harmony. It perfectly embodies this delicate balance between predator and prey, acting way more as a protector than a conqueror. This need for harmony dictates some wildly unique physical adaptations. For one, the Elysium Direcat is smaller and incredibly slender compared to its savage cousins. They have this ethereal fur that actually shimmers with the colors of the forest itself. But here's a real game changer. They have the unique ability to literally shrink in size, which gives them unmatched stealth and agility as they patrol the canopy. On top of that, they have their own healing abilities deeply connected to the Elixian we talked about earlier. Because of all these adaptations, the Direcats and the Florians exist in a state of mutual respect. It's a true symbiosis. Part 4. Symbiosis and survival. The threat from the outside world. Because, it's not all peaceful. Just beyond the safety of the tree line, absolute horrors exist. The profound peace of the Florians and their feline guardians is starkly contrasted by 2 massive threats. First, you have the shadows. These are dark energy entities born in the savage jungle that can transform, absorb prey, and literally phase through objects, which makes them immune to most conventional defenses. And second, the Feras. These are brutal, hyper-aggressive creatures from the wildling field with devastating physical power and just an insatiable bloodlust. To really put into perspective how dangerous these outside threats are, let's walk through the timeline of an event known in the lore as the Feral Frenzy. Okay, at minute 0, a massive wave of resurrected, mutated Feras emerged from the wildling field. By minute 15, this frenzy hit the Florians' old ground village of Sylvetra. For the next 15 minutes, these creatures use their incredibly powerful claws and jaws to tear the buildings apart, reducing the ground structures to absolute rubble. Finally, at the 45-minute mark, their bloodlust seemingly sated, the Pharaoh wave retreated. So in under an hour, an entire settlement was completely leveled. But the ultimate takeaway from that disaster is just a massive testament to the Florians' ingenuity. When the Fear attacked, no one died. How? Because the Florians didn't try to survive through brute force. They survived through evolutionary foresight. They saw the dangers of the ground, so they used their deep connection to the forest to orchestrate a treehouse revolution. They built a hidden sanctuary, Floravel, high up in the living canopy. Homes pulsed from within the bark. Walkways grew like spiraled petals, and they harvested starlight way above the danger. This architectural adaptation, aided by their guardians, quite literally saved their entire civilization from the feral frenzy. It really perfectly embodies the idea that some victories aren't just won, they are remembered in the roots. The survival of the Florians and their Elysium dire cat guardians is proof of an ecosystem that doesn't just react to trauma, it remembers it, adapts to it, and protects its own. The Elixian remembers the souls, the trees remember the history, and the Florians make sure the balance is maintained through respect, not dominance. Which leaves us with a final, pretty provocative question. We've seen how the Florians and dire cats adapted to survive the brutal Ferris, right? But as the dark, phasing energy of the shadows continues to grow in the nearby savage jungle, how long can the delicate harmony of the Elysium Forest truly hold out? I mean, can an ecosystem built purely on peace and memory withstand an endless tide of darkness? It's a fascinating thought to leave you with, and it perfectly highlights why understanding the delicate, living balance of Yaenddarr's ecosystems truly matters. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and I hope this deep dive into the Elysium Forest sparked your curiosity to learn even more about this incredible world.